Hey everybody, it's GobletX, and welcome back to another early access draft of Bloomburrow. Thanks again to Wizards of the Coast who provided me with this promotional early access account, and without further ado, let's hop into the draft. For our pack 1 pick 1, the best card is probably Alania. Incredible card for an Otters deck. They care about casting instants, sorceries, and Otters. This is going to copy every instant sorcery and Otter you play. Just the first every turn, but that is still an incredible impact on the game. However, this is the early access event, and I would like to try my best to play a different archetype in every single draft. We have done blue-red otters, we've done blue-green frogs, and we've done green-black squirrels. Let's try to head a different direction here if we can, and the second best card in the pack is probably Savor. 2 mana, -2/-2 to something, and get a food token. Just good, clean, cheap removal. So let's grab the Savor, stick to black for now, try to be lizards or skunks or something like that. Or not skunks, that's not one of the main card types. Lizards or rats or something. So what is this? Wix Patrol. 6 mana 5/3. When it enters mill 3, when you do, target creature and opponent controls gets -X/-X till end of turn, where X is the greatest mana value among cards in your graveyard? Okay, that's a sick control piece. 6 mana 5/3 that definitely comes with removal by the time you cast it. Even if it doesn't mill anything, right, you've cast an earlier removal spell like a 2 mana -2/-2, so this will be like at least -2/-2. That seems awesome. Maybe we get to go blue-black rat control here. That's an archetype that cares about filling the graveyard, having 7 or more cards in it to trigger the threshold ability and make all your cards better. So let's go for blue-black rat threshold control stuff here, taking that over a discard spell rare, or the skunk thingy here. Pick number 3, we see the Daggerfang Duo, a great way to fill your graveyard and get to threshold faster. We see Plume-Creed Mentor, bit of a sign towards blue-white birds, pick 3, so we could head in that direction. Also Intrepid Rabbit, just to go black-white. We don't have to be married to our creature types here. We could just play the strongest colors, and this seems like one of the strongest commons in the format. It has played ridiculously well. 4 mana for a 3/2 and a 1/1 is already a good deal. 4 mana for a 3/2 and a 1/1 and +1/+1 2 times is ridiculous. This card is just dumb when you're curving out on the play. It's still pretty good on the draw, so maybe take the rabbit to head towards black-white here. Get like Life Creed Duo bat shenanigans maybe going on too. Pick number 4, there's another copy of Savor. And this synergizes well with squirrels, obviously by getting food tokens, but it can also synergize well with bats, which is the black-white creature type, because bats care about gaining life or losing life, and those food tokens can gain life. Yeah, let's take another Savor. This also gets us deeper into black to leave us open to going blue-black instead of black-white. If the white all dries up like it has here, we could just take 3 copies of Savor in a row. Don't mind if I do, I guess. Or we take Plume-Creed Escort towards blue-black. Pretty good rate. Pretty good rate there. Is that better than a third Savor? I don't know if it's better than Savor in a vacuum, but it might be better than a third Savor. I guess we're technically 0 cards deep into blue right now, though, so it's likely better to stick black. Then take a slightly better off-color card. Pick 6. Carrot Cake's a fine card for any white deck. A couple 1/1s. You get a Scry one as well. Get that life gain. Sure. Fabled Passage is fine fixing for anything, so that's an option 2. Kind of ignoring green, because I don't want to do the same archetype twice. We're not going to do squirrels twice in a row, or twice in the event at all. Bravekin Duo is fine. It's a good way to trigger the Valiant mechanic, which triggers whenever you target your cards with spells or abilities. So that could be it, again, just towards black-white. Or we could also just take the white land here to try to dig for a creature when we're flooding out. I'll take the Duo, though. I think we just take those lands just pretty late, generally. Pick 8, nothing much here. Get our first red card or our first blue card towards lizards or rats, I guess. I feel like Shore Up is really good generally. It's probably the strongest card. Speculate on that. Way to counter removal or get a good combat trick. And then there's a downdraft. 3 mana, put something on top or bottom of the library is really good, and it has a backup plan of doing it for 4 if they don't have a tapped or attacking creature on board. Solid control piece towards the blue-black. I'm going to take that over the 3-1 here. Although the 3-1's not bad either. Main deckable artifact enchantment removal. I get the 3-1 here. Here's the duo, which is good for a bat deck. Gives you that life drain. Maybe, again, supposed to take the land over it, but so far I've been kind of unimpressed. The fact that they tap for colored mana only for creature spells has been a really big downside. So they are colorless mana actually quite often. Alright, pack 2, pick 1. We're 2 cards deep into blue, 4 cards into white. Is Gev good enough to really try to get us to pivot in that direction? We saw a decent amount of red. Red looked fine. 2 mana, 3/2. Other creatures you control enter with a +1/+1 counter on them for each opponent who lost life this turn. Whenever you cast a lizard, deals 1 to target opponent. So basically every creature you play comes with a +1/+1 counter if it's a lizard. Or if you can just ping your opponent, then it's definitely going to come with a +1/+1 counter no matter what card type it is. But lizards are just guaranteed, because you cast the lizard, you deal 1 to your opponent, then the lizard hits the board. Star Charter's nuts for bats, though, right? If you gained or lost life, you draw a card off of this every turn. You dig for a creature in the top 4. 2 really good cards, one of which were already kind of in a good spot to be in that direction. I'm going to take the Star Charter over Gev. We're going bats this time around. We're going black-white aggro stuff, and we got passed to the perfect card. 2 mana, 2/3. Whenever 1 or more other rabbits, bats, birds, and mice enter, you scry 1. And they all get +1/+1. Beautiful. That's big damage. Although Starscape Cleric is awesome in this deck too, because you're gaining a lot of random life, so this does a bunch of extra damage. You can also just play a 2/1 flyer turn 2 if you want. Card does seem good. I'm going to go for the rare. We've got less opportunities to play with that, obviously. Okay, pick 3. Negotiation is exactly fine. Sonar Strike also just like fine, but it can hit any tapped creature and it gains life if we have a bat to trigger cards like Star Charter, so we'll go for the strike. Could absolutely be relevant. Rat Berserker, 2 mana, 3/1. If I have any other rats in the deck and I attack in the late game, I can reanimate it too, which is kind of cute. I guess I only have the 1 rat. Not super likely to get more. Is that better than a 3/3 that untaps something every time it attacks? Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure. I'll take it over another Sonar Strike, though, when I have 3 copies of Saver. Pick 5. Dang, we're not getting our colors from this direction. This was the perfect direction to get past for lizards. Wow, if we did the pivot here, we'd be going crazy. Okay, that ability doesn't actually seem that good. Once per turn, you can spend 2 and put a counter on it, but you want to just be playing creatures. But the Recruiter seems like really good for the top end of your lizard deck. Honestly, the Recruiter's probably just better. What is this? 3 mana, 1/3 flying Death Touch. This already trades with anything on blocks. Whenever you gain or lose life during your turn, bats you control get +1/+0, just all of them. Once per turn? Sure. Jeez. Alright. That is absolute bat build around. You want all bats for that thing. We don't have a lot of bats, but we're just a good black-white deck in general. Okay, really good frogs here. That looks like about it. We'll take this guard mouse thing. We can play that in a white deck. Just a 3/4 on curve. Maybe randomly. It's a 4/4 first striker that scries 1. It's a pretty great stat line if we ever do that. If we have the duo or the rabbit to target it. Ooh, speak of the rabbit, let's go. Pick 8. Come on in, Intrepid Rabbit. Card is super super stupid. Gev Wield? I don't think I can get kicked off of Star Charter, Double Rabbit, Valley Quest Caller. Yeah, I can't get kicked off that at this point, but Lizards was the most open deck, sadly. I'm going to take the draw spell. It's a draw spell that also triggers our bat mechanics. Just a carrot cake for rabbits and life gain triggers for the bats. More great lizards here, sadly. Here's a random Anthem effect, just buff the whole board for random lethal. Pack 3, pick 1. Life Creed Duo has been a massive synergy piece for every bat deck I've seen so far. Just gaining life just from playing creatures has been big. It's gained a lot of life throughout the game, and it's got a lot of triggers going. It's incredible with these kind of offspring cards, too, where you're triggering it twice. So I'm going to take the Life Creed Duo primarily over the Feather Flight, which also looks quite good. Pack 3, pick 2. Alright, 2/2. First Strike Lifelink is awesome. Slap that in here and be pretty happy with it. Pack 3, pick 3. And a mouse card. Hard to cast 3 mana, 2/3. Super easy to cast 4 mana, 3/4. Get the mouse, I guess. Here's our 23 cards. We've got our full deck, and we can cut our most mediocre card each time. The Marsh Stalker looks like our most mediocre card right now, considering we have one other rat still. Okay, Intrepid Rabbit is incredible on curve in general, but really, really good with Quest Caller and stuff. Same with this Head of the Homestead. I mean, the fact that these are both white commons means white looks really strong in the format. I like both of these a lot. I'm going to go for a third Intrepid Rabbit, though. Fits a tiny bit lower on the curve, and it's a tiny bit more flexible. This is super fine. It's good value when you drain your opponent for some life. Or we could just grab more removal. Have our first removal spell that can actually hit really big creatures. Let's do that. Be able to get a big creature out of the way. Now I can cut the Marsh Stalker. Probably the Guard Mouse, because these are basically 4-drops as well. So if I get another playable, I'll cut another Guard Mouse. Well, what is the creature count? 13 with double Carrot Cake is 15. 15's fine. I don't think I want to cut more than that, though, so we probably start cutting Rabbit's responses. I don't know if I'm getting that wide for that to be any good. 4th Saver. Stargaze here. Could also just take a 3-drop on curve. I'll get a 4th Saver over a Rabbit response. Crumb and get it. Super efficient combat trick. I think I still want to play one of these, maybe. So I don't have anything to cut for the Crumb and get it. But there's also no creatures here. It's a non-creature no matter what. Awkward. Maybe with 4 Savers I can cut the Sonar Strike. Yeah, I mean, how many bats do I have? 4? I don't know. I'm going to cut the Strike, though. It's like my 6th 4-drop. Another early winter. I like the Life Drainer decently. I do like killing big stuff, though. Okay, Brave Can Do It looks real good. Now I can definitely cut the Guard Mouse. This is 3 mana for a 1/2 and a 1/1. It's not a horrific deal, and if you do target it with stuff, then it, just by buffing itself and its offspring, is pretty good. Definitely have no idea how to build this kind of stuff yet in the early access event, -7 days in the format at the time of recording. Sure, there's definitely infinitely better ways to have drafted this out and built this, but we're trying things. We're figuring it out as we go. I feel like Swordmaster on turn 3 into Intrepid Rabbit turn 4 is just insane amounts of damage because then you've targeted both of them. So they both get +2/+0 from their own abilities and the +1/+1s from the rabbit. I want to try that out. That seems fun. It's also a great offspring card to go with the Life Creed duo. It fills out the 3-drop slot. The double Bravekins get a lot better with those in the deck. I'm just cutting 2 lands, aren't I? Or 2 non-lands. Maybe the Carrot Cakes are a little bit slow. 2 mana for a 1/1 and then another 2 for that 1/1. I've got a lot of life gain off of the Savers alone already. So this would be 14 creatures, a little bit small without the Carrot Cakes, but I kind of like that idea. I guess I should probably play one of the Carrot Cakes over the Rabbit's response. If I'm a 14 creature deck at that point. Maybe, maybe not. But that is what I am gonna do. Boom. We will call it a deck here. Alright, here we are on the play. Tons of different ways to curve this out. I probably start with the Stoat just because it's the hardest one for them to end up blocking super well, although the duo is a flyer, so that's arguable. But the Nettle Guard, I mean, like, we don't have anything to target this in our hand, so literally any creature they play will trade into it, and I don't want to end up trading into something small. Just like a 1-drop or a token or anything. And there's a 1-drop, but it's an incredible 1-drop. Could be a problem. Good thing we have First Strike here, so if they just play 1 creature this turn, we can still block it. Alright, they did just play 1 creature this turn, so they do not get to attack in, luckily. Carrot Cake is the draw. Probably going to have to early winter that Might Caller, because it's going to get real big. We're not going to be able to block it well anyway, so we might as well send in, and if we trade into that, then fine, they can double block. And they get to kill the Stoat, but we get to kill the Might Caller. Alright. We do not get to kill the Might Caller. I can play a Nettle Guard. And that way, if they don't play 2 creatures, then the Nettle Guard can still trade into the Might Caller on blocks. We get trampled a little bit, but that's fine. As long as we get this off the board. Because it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay. Destroy our lifelinker and lose 2. Pass the turn. Ooh. That's a massive combat trick on Nettle Guards. This is going to hit as a 5/5 on attacks or blocks. They're down to 16 now. I'd probably play it aggressively. I think they missed a land drop too. They were on the play, right? Or we might have been on the play. I could be wrong. Alright, 1-for-1 trade on board or 1-for-1 trade with the trick. We'll do the trick. Get the flyer down. When their creatures die, they get more food tokens. When they sack the food, we mill 2. Or they mill 2. If they get enough food on level 3, they can sack all the food to reanimate something. It's so interesting. I guess this is like just a full-on build-around is the idea. You want to just get so many food that you're gaining so much life, you're impossible to race, and you're just milling your opponent out of the game. I guess if it becomes a big enough issue, we can just blow it up with the Nettle Guard here. I guess not if they trade. If they trade into the Nettle Guard here, I'm just going to let it happen. I'm not going to blow up the Scavenger's Talent. But if they don't trade into the Nettle Guard, then, like, we can blow up Scavenger's Talent if things get scary. Alright, Dray Leader's, what, a 2/2 here? That's not bad. Might color's a 3/3 now, so it is not sending in. They were thinking about it. Let's eat some cake. Delicious. Here's duo mana. Get big in the sky here. We're hitting for 4 damage a turn. They're at functionally 12 with that food token. But they have nothing in the sky still. And as soon as they do find something, we can early winter it. If I trade on blocks here... Okay, they're not even going to let me. I was going to say if I trade on blocks here, then they get another food, and that makes it take longer to kill them in the sky, so I'm just not going to block. But then they didn't trade on blocks. Or they didn't attack. They didn't allow me to trade on blocks. Level 2, sure. Just mills me a little when they sack permanents, or mills themselves. Okay. They are going to mill me. You got it. Land. Well, that was good for us. Again, I think the only part of the talent I'm really scared about here is them maybe getting more food tokens, but still might be worth blowing up with the Nettle Guard. Yeah, I'm just going to get rid of it here. More mana. But we're just 2 swings from the kill, so we go for it. Now, early winter to exile their blocker. I'm going to keep this in hand. There's a 1 mana card that makes you exile a card from your hand, and it's got flashback as well for 5. So if they like pay 1 mana to make me exile a card from hand and then play a reach blocker, then boom, I no longer have lethal. But now, even if they do that, I'll still have lethal. I'm at 32. I think I'm going to lose 3 life there. 1 green mana up to try to not die. If it's a trick to give reach, we early winter and still win the game. There's a backup early winter. Attack for lethal in the sky. And that is game. Alright, well, here we are on the play with our mono black control hand. I mean, they're strong cards. I'm gonna keep it. But it is not the deck idea. And obviously, if we draw any white spells, that's gonna be pretty bad. Single land gets us to Dire Sight, though, which digs 4 cards deep, looking for planes. Root Weaver. Oh, 3 toughness. The bane of my deck. My playset of Savers are useless. Oh god, and they're just gonna ramp out on me with this mana of any color off this. Right on time. Alright, well, things are going to get bad. They're going to play something big next turn. Definitely need the land. I don't think I can afford another 5-drop when I don't know if I'm hitting the 5th land quite yet. Oh, shoot, I have to discard the hand size too? Drop the Nettle Guard. I'm probably supposed to drop a Saver, but I cannot bring myself to do it. Patrol is going to be the MVP this game. This is going to hit the board, give us a 5/3, and kill their biggest creature at the same time. Oh. Speaking of their biggest creature, look at that thing. I still only have 4 mana. I've hit every land drop, but I'm on the draw, so I'm just now playing land 4. It's because they ramped into a 5-drop here that's unkillable. I can double Saver it, I guess. I did draw 2, so we're at parity if I 2-for-1 myself. I've just undone my 2-for-1 earlier. Sure. The other option is to play nothing this turn, so what are you gonna do? Village is busted when you've got the mana for it. Everything they play is coming with a +1/+1 counter. Yep, like that's 4 toughness instead of 3 now. Super good. Also giving all the frogs ward is pretty bad for me. Yeah, I can't afford to kill it because it's got wards. Let's get a bat down. See if we can get any damage going in this guy. Oh, hello, Clement. Clement has some crazy combos, especially with Long River Lurker. Because if they get like a 5-power creature, gross, 1 mana removal. If they get like a 5-power creature, or a 5-mana creature, they can play it, pick up the Lurker, play the Lurker to give it unblockable, then hit us, and then the Lurker flickers it, and when it flickers, it enters the battlefield again, then they pick up the Lurker to do it again next turn. Oh dear, well I can't Wix Patrol because the cards I want to kill have ward, so I could early winter the Lurker so that they don't have ward, so no matter what I draw I can Wix Patrol Clement next turn, but Lurker's straight up just an enter the battlefield effect, so if they don't have a way to flicker it or put it back in their hand, Lurker's not that bad for me. But they're blue-green, so their deck is full of ways to flicker it or put it in hand anyway. Yeah, I probably need to make sure that I'm killing something this turn and next turn, so we'll early winter the Lurker so that no matter what I draw, I have the mana to then Wix Patrol the Clements. Alright. Hit the land. I guess either way, I'm just ending up with both of them dead. But I could have had the 5/3 blocker up immediately. Oh wait, no I couldn't. What am I talking about? I had to early winter first either way. Yeah, no, so this actually just plays out identically. They have the shore up? That'd be kind of nasty. Not like super nasty, just prevents the 2-for-1 here. Can still trade the body into Clement. Ooh, they do not have the shore up. No hexproof. Another mana dork? That's a pretty bad draw right now. We're happy to see that. Is this any of the creature types that matter? No, it's a mole druid. Cool. Let's scry a little bit. Sure. Sabers are literally just combat tricks now, but fake it. Just hit them for 5. 4 turns in a row, that's the game plan. Savor the flavor of the mole. They did think a long time when we killed Clement, so they might have a combat trick that just wasn't good enough. Ooh. That's not the worst outcome at all. It's not the best. Obviously, would likely be a little bit better to just have killed those immediately, but I get to kill one by recasting that. Ooh. Never mind, I get to kill a Junkblade Bruiser by recasting that. Oh, no! It's one of the creature types? Oh, nasty. Shoot, I don't get to. Wow. Yeah, that's really good. 1 toughness off. Well, if they don't expend 4, I can double block. Actually, probably should have just waited. Well, I mean, there's a saver underneath the patrol, so yeah, I needed to spend the mana on the rabbit. Anyway. Oh, right, I'm milling. Never mind. Yeah, I should have cracked the rabbit afterward then. Then I could actually get the scry. Because I'm going to mill that saver away and then I can scry afterward. Okay, if they don't expend, I can still trade into the bruiser and hope to draw better. Life rolls are actually close to even because we have 2 food tokens. So we could win a top deck war here. We're starting out behind, so it's not a coin flip. Probably like a 65% chance our opponent wins, 35% chance we win. Those aren't the worst odds ever, though. Okay, that's going to be really good. They don't have their own trick. I don't think I can attack in here and use it offensively, though, because of the trample. The moment they expend 4, I am having a very bad time. Oh my god! They top-decked 2 Brambleguard veterans in a row? For the double expend 4 triggers coming up. Seems nasty. Well, crumb and get your food token, but I'm still in a horrendous position. Because those both get a counter from the Oak Hollow village, too. Jeez, yeah, they're 4/5s at base stats. And if they expend 4, then they're 5/6s. No, they're 6/7s because they both buff each other. Oh, dear. Yeah, those 2 of those in a row were incredibly live draws for our opponent. We're in the double team wombo combo here. And to expend 4 stun 2 cards. Alright, we lost the top deck war. Big time. The 65-35 odds. We lost that gamble. A lot. This is astronomically dead, good lord. 4/6. I can't even not chump here because I can go to 12 and die if I don't block. I have to chump with my great creature. Still gonna leave 1 food token in case I top deck a bat, but wow, oh, they're frogs too for the Oak Hollow village. Alright, well, that would make sense. They're blue-green, they're gonna hit higher mana value spells than us on average, but they hit incredible draws. Just 3 for 3 those last 3 turns. Actual perfection. We're 1-1 heading into game 3. Alright, beautiful hand for game 3. We're on the play as well with a turn 2 quest caller. Could be super nasty. Playing against green-white. What looks to be one of the strongest archetypes in the set. The token production you get from the rabbits is just wild. And white seems to be the strongest color just in general. Still really early to tell, but I think the white commons and uncommons have seemed super, super busted. Trying to get to 6 mana here, so I think we mill. Sticky Tongue Sentinel, just a 3/3 reach. Still a little annoying against our 3/1 flyer, especially because Saber doesn't even matter against it. At that rate, we still just gotta play this on curve, regardless. I guess Saber does matter against it because it's getting +1/+1 from Quest Caller. Saber would make it a 1/1 and we would win the fight. And then we can eat the food that Saber gets us afterward. Okay. We still have attacks if they tap out of tricks and stuff. If they don't tap out of tricks, I'm just going to play the duo and pass. But if they tap out of tricks and send in, maybe do the Saver thing. Alright, fight the Quest Caller. Means now Saver's useless against Sentinel. Because Star Charge is back to 1 toughness, so... I 3-1 versus a 1-1. Still doesn't matter. Oh no, is there more removal here? No, they're just confident they're winning the race, probably. Alright. I'm very cool with that, because Star Charter's a terrible blocker with 1 toughness. So we might as well send it in, since it's not doing any blocks. Down to 12 here. Tapped out their only reach or flying blocker. Love to see that. Another one. Another one. Pick up the carrot cake. So they can get 3 rabbits total instead of just 2. Still cost them another 2 mana. Far from the worst thing I've seen a Sticky Tongue Sentinel do. That is fine. Beautiful draw. Curve out perfectly here. Goodbye, Sticky Tongue. Hello, 6 damage to your face. Ooh, 3/4 flyer, and it buffs their reach creature. They've got a roadblock over there, but the land draw is perfect again. So I have a Saver up here, which probably means exile the 4/4, Saver the 3/4. I guess either or, it doesn't really matter. Cool. Let's clear the board here. And we're all up in the skies. We have 6 damage on board when they're at functionally 10 life thanks to the carrot cake. So 2 turn lethal. Ooh. Incredible draw. Intrepid Rabbit's just a busted card, and they're just gonna concede on the spot there. Another victory for the Batman. That is a curve. Oh my god, they're all mice? We're on the draw. I feel like on the play and top decking the... Oh, there it is! Oh my god! Okay. I was gonna say, if we were on the play and we top decked that, this looks like one of the least beatable curves in the format. Mouse, mouse, double mouse that buff the whole board when they get targeted, and then target both of those. Oh no, our opponent has blockers everywhere. And they're a mice deck too? Okay, this looks nasty. Yeah, maybe the white color pairs are just incredible. Because I've been the most impressed by rabbits so far. But the bat decks have also seemed pretty good. And our opponent is doing terrifying things with their mice deck. So every white deck I've seen can do terrifying stuff. I've also been crushed by some bird decks. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of all the white color pairs in terms of power level. In terms of effects, I like the blue color pairs as the most fun to try to build around, play around. This is already a ridiculous amount of damage. Oof. This just gets a counter and double strike every single turn. So it's a 4/4 double strike next turn, then a 5/5 double strike the turn after that, then a 6/6 double strike with this Manifold Mouse combo. Okay, well, we got bombed out. I thought our curve was good. Manifold Mouse actually, plus specifically the +1/+1 counter Valiant card. That is, that's just straight unbeatable, is it not? I thought my curve was unbeatable. Maybe on the play we'd still be in this, but on the draw, this is 1-drop, 2-drop as well. So they get that started turn too. They get a counter every turn. I guess we just needed removal at the right time, and we did not have any of our 4 savers in the opener. Okay. If our opponent just played like commons and uncommons and stuff, this hand would have been incredible and maybe unbeatable, but this is like next level unbeatable. This is actually unbeatable, not hyperbole unbeatable. This is like without the removal. They're attacking with a 2/2 double striker on turn 2, a 3/3 double striker turn 3, a 4/4 double striker turn 4. The amount of damage output for that cheap is stupid. They actually just go for trample here. It's already 6 damage on board. I have 2 rabbits in a row, but it doesn't matter because it's a 5/5 trampler now next turn. Just don't block and then just see what our Intrepid Rabbit damage output is for fun and then die. Let's just see what the numbers are here. I guess they could removal spell their own Heartfire hero when we're dead. Yeah, this isn't lethal because they have a blocker. 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, it's 1 damage off even if they didn't have the mouse. Dang. That's still ridiculous for turn 4. It's just not quite as ridiculous. Take out the trash. That one. Now they're super safe. I'm already dead on board on the crackback. You can just pass and then swing. There we go. Rip. Yeah, might as well. I have never gone from maximum levels of excited to maximum levels of disappointed quite so fast as when I saw Heartfire Hero turn 1 into Manifold Mouse turn 2. That is like the Splinter Twin combo of the format. It's gotta be. Removal on the spot or die. We did not have removal on the spot, despite our deck being really good for that. But it is what it is. 2-2 heading into game 5. Hey, on the plus side, we didn't have to eat any mice today. We didn't have to savor that flavor. It's all about the rats. Gotta make you some nice ratatouille. That's delicious. Alright, duo into rabbit is not the worst. We've got time to hit black sources, especially before patrol. We've got so many draw steps before we're at 6 mana anyway. We have at least 6 draw steps, because we're on the draw here. Alright, another rabbit. Maybe supposed to just curve. Don't even get the 2 creatures off that one. There's the first black source. Pretty beautiful. Mono white so far from our opponent. They drop a 3/3. Yeah, I think I should curve out a little here. Because we've got a 4, 5, 6 play after this. And this trades into the 3/3. Or races it, either way. Probably races it because we've got 2 +1/+1s next turn. Just take the damage and go for the crackback, especially with Life Breed Duo. That card's really hard to race in this format with all the offspring triggers and stuff. gaining extra life with those tokens and everything. I guess that untaps itself. Well, shoot. Didn't even realize that. Maybe I should have just traded. But I can double buff the rabbit to make it 4 toughness here to be able to attack past if they don't have removal spell for our intrepid rabbits. And if they do, it's not the worst. Take the 1-for-1 trade there. I guess the combat trick could be the thing too. +2/+2, give us a food to give indestructible. But they have nothing. We put them down to 12. There is a 3/3 flyer that puts a counter on their non-flyer every time it attacks. Oh no. Ooh, that's different. It jumps it into the sky. There's a saver. Not bad at all. I think it's actually, strangely enough, better to cast Early Winter here, and that's because we have Wix Patrol. That's going to guarantee this can give -5/-5. Otherwise, it's just -2/-2 if I don't hit something on the mill 3. Feels better to, like, guarantee... Oop. Guarantee no matter what we mill off of it, it's going to be -5/-5 at worst. Opponent's just stuck on mana here. I don't even get to play the patrol. I mean, I could. But this can kill stuff that Saver can't guarantee lethal. Oh, they're just off the color here. This gains life and triggers duo, so it's 1 more damage. We'll do it. Just in case that matters, but they look just dead. Yeah. Rough game for opponent. They just didn't hit their mana, so it's a free win for us, but guess the bats will take it. We'll steal it away. Alright, game 6 on the play. Duo into rabbit again, this time with some savers. Let's get going. Playing against the black deck. That's awkward. Does work well with our savers on curve, actually, so that I can hold off the rabbit till turn 4 and not feel as bad. Okay, well I can't saver that super well. Guess I can saver on blocks, but there's a risk to that. Because they're going to have open mana here. So what's the worst that can happen? They like reverse saver me. They kill my Bravekin duo and my saver does nothing functionally. That's a pretty bad case scenario. I'm just going to take it. Oh, shoot. Well, it's going to be a little hard to race. God, Star Charter's so good with Life Creed Duo if we can find the next mana. Well, safer to favor on attacks than blocks here, so here we go. Now the only thing they could have is the +2/+2 trick specifically. They are not going for it. Four mana up now. This expands the list of stuff they could have quite a bit. But I also don't have many options here. And Arena's not holding for them at all, so I'm going to try to cheaty face that. Alright, cool. Cheaty face on my board. Double blue 3/3 flyer has arrived. Buffs the whole board for +1/+1? Well, if I'm not finding land 4, I guess I might as well just savor that, right? ahead of the homestead. Ridiculous card, and I'm incapable of hitting lands. God. If we hit lands on curve, the game would be astronomically different, but where we're at now, can duo off the 1/1s, I guess. Savor the head while they're passed. Or passed while they're tapped out. And I can Carrot Cake and Scry, but then blocks are not great. I'm just eating everything. I am just binge eating today. My God. Just a single land from greatness. Please. Oh. Well, Savior wasn't going to do anything to that. Early Winter would. But I've missed like 4 land drops now. Please. I'm begging you. You're not a land. Now I just start taking 6 a turn. For at least 3 swings. Even if I hit lands 2 in a row here. The worst part about this is I probably need to sack this in my upkeep. Yep. If I sack it in my upkeep, I just get a rabbit, gain 3, and then I get to gain another 3. I mean, at this point, their board is so far ahead that if I don't just blind draw the land into the 4-drop, I kind of just lose anyway. Right? If I do this and then I draw the 4th land, I play the 4th land, eat a food. Guess I'm at 16, sure, but my board is a 1-2 and 4 1/1s is all coming in. I kind of just need to hit it. This is depressing. Of course. Well. If I cracked that food, I swear to God, it would have been a land on top. And then everybody would have been like, why on earth would you do that? It was a Star Charter turn. If you don't hit the land, you're dead anyway. Well, this was a really disappointing game. But what are you going to do? Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Technically not dead doing this. Actually 12, because they gain life and trigger Witness again off of the Stoat. But I need 4 blockers because one of their creatures has Menace. So now I need 5 blockers. Plus that just kills me on the attack. Oh. Hit this land infinitely too late. It is what it is. And that rips us out of contention too. Man. That's 2 massive bummers. There was the one game where I felt like we had an incredible hand, but then our opponent was like, Splinter Twin combo, GG. And then that game where we had a pretty good hand, but we drew 0 lands. So, I mean, any deck can lose like that. So a little bit of rough variance pulls it down from a better record. And even with the rough variance, getting a 3-3 out of it, I think that means the deck's pretty solid on average. Because our losses had some pretty bad luck. Pretty bad variance in some different ways. Bad draws or our opponent just on wombo combo dreamland. So, pretty good deck overall, I would say. Would have liked to see it do better, but considering the variance, the things that happened RNG-wise based on our draws and our opponent's draws, it played out well, all things considered, and I think probably gets a pretty decent record on average. Just had a little below average luck this time around at a 3-3 with the Bat deck. But that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you're interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send you some more in your recommended feed. If you'd like to catch me live, you can check out the Twitch channel in the link in the description below. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. But other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.